the lesson 1.
Wait, I'm finding the picture. Continue.
So lesson 1, you see the first thing that asana is one of the most important limbs of classical Hatha Yoga. In Raja Yoga, asana refers to the sitting meditative postures used for higher stages of Raja Yoga. That is pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. So in the first para there are two aspects.
Do you want to see them?
Huh?
This is our uniform.
They look good, yeah. So asana has two aspects. So when we talk of asana in Hatha Yoga, so asanin bhavet dradham, I remember the verses, So in Hatha Yoga, why we practice asana? Asanin bhavet dradham. Asana gives you the strength of the body. That is why you do that. In all those asanas, there's a lot of stretching and twisting and back bending and forward bending. Right and the left, a lot of these postures. But when we talk of Raja Yoga, in Raj Yoga, they are only meditative asanas are practiced. So we don't give too much of importance to the asana, the physical postures in Raj Yoga. Why? Because sitting in this meditative posture like this for hours together helps you to educate and discipline the mind, and you can absorb into meditation and you can awaken to inner peace and happiness. So two points. In Raja Yoga, there are the stresses on meditative asanas. In Hatha Yoga, the stress is on twisting, back bending, lot of postures. Now what is asana? Specifically with the Raj Yoga. Asana is a specific body position, helps to open the energy channels. Now see that. Look at this, this lotus pose. So if I sit in lotus pose for about more than 15 minutes without moving, that energy movement inside the body changes. That energy which was going down, it started moving up. Now if you sit for an hour, balance of energy, balance of harmony, balance of mind. Simply sitting in meditative postures, not in other postures. No, you cannot do cobra snake pose for an hour. You cannot do it. It's not possible. So they belong to the Hatha Yoga. So meditative asana. We will understand also there are 5 meditative asanas. So that is why Hatha Yoga is a process through which purification and control of the body takes place by restructuring the pranic flow. Now see that when I do this, so this is some kind of a twisting. So it also changes the energy flow. It also changes the energy flow whether I do the forward bending or the back bending or the right side or the left side. So it has to do with Hatha Yoga. Do you remember, Mary? Can you teach Sienna what is the meaning of Hatha? I explained. Hatha has 2 syllables. Ha, ta. Do you know? Ha means the masculine energy,
is that like the sun and the moon?
Sun and the moon. And the ta is the moon and the feminine energy. So when the masculine energy and the feminine energy, the sun and the moon comes together, it creates a middle flow. So lot of postures, yes, we can do it, but it is the long way to go. You have to practice maybe for 2 hours every day for a couple of years, then only the energy flow is that there is a balance of energy. But if you are doing the meditative poses and you practice meditation, that 2 hours is reduced to hardly 1 month. That is the power of the meditative poses. Now we will understand in the 3 verses, according to Patanjali, what is asana. So for the definition of the asana, it is written in the first from the sutra. What is? Relaxed and poised position of the body is termed asana. Sthir sukham asanam. You see that I am happy sitting in this pose and steady. That is the meditative asana. So I am a teacher and I push you to sit, I force you to sit. You are not happy, your body is constantly moving, then that is not a meditative asana. So meditative asana has 2 clear terms. How it is defined? First is, it should be relaxed, comfortable. And the second is poised. The body is totally poised, still, motionless state. The body has a motionless state. The body is not visiting, here and there, the mind does not create any kind of reaction for sitting in this posture. You are doing a meditative pose. So even if you are doing a meditative asana, even for 5 to 10 minutes every day, only 5 minutes every day, it will help you reduce your anxiety, conflict, it will raise your awareness, it will increase your memory and retention. Just sitting, But we don't want to sit idle. We have hundreds of gadgets all around, different sounds, thoughts in the mind. So the body is not sitting in a motionless state. So that cannot be termed as asana. So that is how you define the asanas. Sthir sukham asana, relaxed and poised. First it is relaxed, second it is poised, motionless state of the body. Now, what is the method of doing practicing the meditative asana? Meditative asana. Practice. So it says, Prayatna Shaithilyata Ananta Samapatibhyam. Now see the secret. What is the secret of success in the meditation asanas? Say, first, you cannot do this lotus pose so you can do like this. Half lotus pose, and then what we do? Second thing, the moment you are comfortable, the body is steady, half lotus pose, so there is no too much of effort, and then what happens? The mind is looking into the space inside. In all meditative asana, then only you succeed. If the mind is not looking into the space deeper inside, success will not happen. So the second part of this verse, Prayatna Shaithilyata Ananta Samapatibhyam, the mind is absorbed into the inner space. So the 4 conditions are there of doing the meditative asana from the 2 verses. First is, the body has to be relaxed and comfortable. Second part, it has to be motionless. Third point, there is no effort at all. There is a sense of effortlessness. We are totally effortless, becoming lazy. If I ask you to lie down, then you'll go into sleep. So that is not effort. Effortlessness with awareness. Natural state with awareness. That is the sign of meditative asanas. So now, 4 points. And then after that, you are looking into the space. The 4 points: steadiness, effortlessness, happiness, sense of joy is there, relax. And the 4th point, your mind is looking into the space or the emptiness inside. That will help you succeed in meditative asana. So what happens? You start doing the meditative asana as the Hatha Yoga asanas. Oh, there is too much stretching. How long I'll be able to do it? You will never be able to achieve success. Yeah, do stretch as much as possible in other postures, but not in meditative asanas. That you should remember. So, do you still remember the 4 points? The steadiness, first point, the effortlessness, happiness inside the mind, and looking into the space. That helps you succeed in. That helps you succeed. This is visiting, this is not allowed in doing meditative asanas.
I don't do this in meditation.
You don't do it in meditation. You're doing. Now see the other point that is very important. What is the result of practice of asanas in this way? So when you're doing meditative asanas with steadiness, effortlessness, happiness, and mind is looking into the space, when you're doing the practice regularly, daily, and after a few weeks, what is the result? Now one day you wake up in the morning, your dad said you something, previously you were reacting, but now you are not reacting, you are calm. So the master says, what is the result? Tato dandana vihata. The result of the asana, what is that? Immune to dualities. What are the dualities? Likes and dislikes. The mom say, you like something, your mom doesn't like. So then there is a reaction. So that reaction stops. Now, one example I'm giving you. Pain and pleasure, you are able to tolerate that pain and the pleasure. You're not affected, not influenced by anything happening outside the world. The hot and the cold, pain and the pleasure, likes and dislikes, hate and the love. We instantly create a hatred. The moment your friend doesn't agree with you, hell with you. So you stop saying that. Your mind brings the changes by doing the meditative asanas. That needs to be understood. Being the first accessory of Hatha Yoga, asana is described first. It should be practiced for gaining steady posture, health and lightness of the body. But when you are doing asana in Hatha Yoga, so another master says, Hatha Yoga asanas, not the meditative asanas. Yeah? Hatha Yoga asanas, what it leads to? Steady posture, health, lightness of the body. Now see, I have quoted another verse. How long asanas are to be practiced? So if you see asana, various kumbhaka means retention of the breath, and other divine means all should be practiced in the practice of Hatha Yoga until the fruit of Raja Yoga is obtained. Now see that. Have you asked question to yourself that how long you have to do all these postures? So the master is answering. What the master is saying? That until the fruit of Raja Yoga is obtained. What is the fruit of Raja Yoga? Then you can sit in meditation for minimum an hour together without any disturbance. I can sit for 3.5 hours. So even if you are able to sit initially you are able to sit, for 10 minutes in the beginning, first few weeks, then you increase it to 15 minutes, another 3 weeks, then after 6 weeks, then you sit in 20 minutes. So gradually as the duration increases. As the duration increases, what happens? The steadiness is obtained, that steadiness is obtained. I kept the 4, I had a session, yeah. So the first thing.
Hi, Girish. It is 4 p.m. Right now in Phoenix it's 86 and partly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 86 and a low of 65. Have a good one.
Phone has also started.
Here's the latest news. From NPR News Now at 3 p.m. today. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm
sorry. It was yesterday. It was kept open. I listened to the NPR. Do you listen to the NPR? It's unbiased radio, National Public Radio, located in Newark. Do you know that?
I listened to one podcast.
One podcast.
Well, it's called How It something. But
Yeah.
About these people, how they create their businesses.
Yeah, oh yeah, there are many podcasts. Coming back. So in Hatha Yoga, when we do, how long we have to practice all those asanas? Until fruit of Raj Yoga is obtained. So what is the fruit of Raj Yoga? I am able to sit for an asana for an hour, maybe longer than that, or even half an hour, and total calmness and peace. Then even if you don't do other physical practices, the body, the flexibility, elasticity of the body remains intact because your mind has changed. It is the mind that causes too much of stiffness, 90% of the stiffness in the body. And the mind is cool and calm and soft and gentle. You need not to do all those 50, 60, 70 postures. That is what the master is saying. I'm not saying it. I don't know anything. Only the teacher, what the teacher is teaching it. One may start, I have explained, one may start the practice of asana for 10 seconds and time may be increased gradually to maximum 3 minutes except meditative postures. Now I'm talking of Hatha Yoga. So many great Hatha Yoga masters says that when you are doing Hatha Yoga asanas, so gradually you should increase the duration minimum for 3 minutes, like Cobra pose, 3 minutes. Chakrasana, the wheel pose, 3 minutes. So, but not instantly. You have to increase it by a few seconds every day. So once you reach to the 3 minutes, then choose. You see that. Understand, you are doing 50 asanas in 1 hour. Now you have increased the duration to a minute. So it means now you are doing only 30 asanas in an hour. You do 1 minute, you relax and do the second pose. Now if you want to do 3 minutes, you want to reach to a progress in perfection, so you pick up the posture and you do it for 3 minutes. So in 3 minutes, how many poses you can do in 60 minutes? Hardly 20. Then you increase. So what happens? The number of asanas goes on decreasing as you progress on the path. What we do? We do the same postures again and again and again. That is the secret. Sienna. Turn on the page, seconds. Now practice of Sukhasana, Padmasana, Siddhasana. How you do it? How you do the Sukhasana? Can you do the Sukhasana? Sukh means happy pose. Sukh. Can you do this? Is Sukhasana. Did you put your hands? Put your 1 foot over and this is the other. That's all casual. Both the legs are crossed in casual pose. Do it, man.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about it. Sorry.
Mary. Mary is looking at my view, but why? Someone came?
Oh, I thought. Yeah, probably not.
So now, just adjust, adjust that. This is Sukhasana, adjust, and now put your hand on your knees, eyes are closed. Let me check 1 minute only. So that in that 1 minute, you are looking at the breath and the body is totally, now 4 points, meditative asanas, 4 points, remember, steadiness, yes. Effortlessness, yes. There is no effort at all. 3rd point, are you happy inside at the mental level? Are you looking into the space inside? Yes. And from the space, you are looking at the breath. So you check yourself when you are doing the Sukhasana or any meditative pose. This would become the 7th meditative pose. We'll talk about the other meditative asanas. So you see that first is the steadiness. How to become steady? You become comfortable. You know the way how it is to be done. 1 minute is done, but continue for 1 more minute. You see that this is how, when you are feeling the steadiness, effortlessness, happiness, and the mind is looking into the space, and you see that the duration of the doing the asana increases, and as it increases, I can promise you your mind will cool down. You'll have great power of memory and retention. The level of anxiety and the reaction and the liking and the disliking goes down. So again, mentally you say to yourself, repeat, mentally experience the steadiness, effortlessness, happiness and the space within, and then the mind is looking into the space constantly or the breath. It is so. You see that you have done 2 minutes. Let us continue let us see if we can do it for 5 minutes. So you engage your mind. Keep your mind engaged on the 4 aspects of meditative asanas. Steadiness in the body, effortlessness. Effortlessness also means that you are comfortable. Happiness in the mind. Happiness in the mind is there when it is looking into the space. So both are together. So there are 2 aspects of the physical level, 2 conditions you meet at the physical level, and 2 conditions you meet at the mental level. Happiness in looking into the space, mental level. Effortlessness and stillness at the physical level. Open your eyes. You see that? You have already done 3 minutes. So if you are really interested, the mind is interested. Mind is not looking into the watch, but mind is looking into yourself. That will help you. That will help you. That is the way of doing it. You take interest, you are interested in it. And then you probably make a progress. So this is what the Sukhasana is. What is the Padmasana? Padmasana and Siddhasana. What is Padmasana? This is Padmasana. Can you do Padmasana? See that? Very good. Good. That's good. Very good. So make it comfortable, adjust it, whether closer or far. So when you comfort, put your hands on the knees and close your eyes and let us see. Can we do it for 3 minutes? I believe if you are interested, if your mind is ready, you can do it. Put your hands on the knees, eyes are closed. Now looking into the steadiness aspect of it. So keep moving the mind from the shoulder joints to hip joints. The spine is fairly straight but not stretched, and the legs are crossed as you are experiencing some stiffness. It's okay, but check that you are in the state of effortlessness. 2 points of the physical, happiness inside, deep, and look inside the heart or the head, and the space deeper inside. Simply. So return again, engage the mind on the steadiness of the body. You look at the body as if you are looking your own body from outside. From outside, as if, oh, this is my body, totally still. This is my body. Effortlessness is there. And then you go inside the body. Mental level, happiness, and the space. 1 minute is done. So you engage your mind while doing these meditative asanas. Then only the meditative asanas will succeed. Otherwise, no chance, even if you practice these asanas for years and years and years together. So we have to follow the principle. Again, pick up the principle. First 2, physical. Just look at the steadiness. You may experience some sense of, feeling, sensation, maybe tingling or numbness. Let it be there, okay, but steadiness is there. That is the key. That is the key. And the 2 points, happiness and space. You have already done 2.5 minutes. You see that the moment you understand the principle clearly, anyone can sit in any meditative pose. Physical limitations may be there, but still you can sit in that meditative pose. And open your eyes. You have done for 3 minutes. See that? How is it? That is the way. No, I have to sit in meditative asanas. I want to lie down and meditate. So mind is not understanding that. So if the mind does not understand, then you cannot succeed. The last one is Siddhasana. What is Siddhasana? So that you put all the toes inside the knees of a other leg, and this also goes inside. I'm just with pant, but still goes inside. And then your spine is straight. You guys are younger than me. Keep your spine straight. It's my turn to, So now close your eyes and check yourself. Where are the 4 points you need to check? In Hatha Yoga Asanas, Casey is teaching you, this is the joint, this you have to stretch. Understand that also. But when we are doing the meditative asana, we have to follow these 4 points. Steadiness in the body. Check your body, that body is steady. Second part, effortlessness. The body is not making an extra effort. You are not leaning on either side. You're just comfortable. And 2 points of the mind. 2 points of the mind. Happiness and looking into the space. The mind will go back to the body and it wants to create some problem, reaction. It wants to move. Again, check the steadiness in the body. Again, check the steadiness in the body. The mind. Steadiness and effortlessness. So effortlessness means casually sitting, as if I'm sitting for nothing. But then the third point is mentally happiness and 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 space inside. So even staying there for 3 minutes every day. The moment you wake up in the morning, just do any of one of these postures. One day you will discover that you are sitting even for 15 minutes and the body doesn't know about it. You're totally absorbed inside. But when the mind is focused on the body, as it happens in other physical poses, the Hatha Yoga asanas, then you will never succeed. Make it a point. Understand that point. So meditative asanas has to be done with the conscious mind, with awareness and attention. 4 points, 2 points. Physical, the steadiness. You can make the body totally steady and being comfortable, carefree, casual. That is what the effortlessness is. And third point is the happiness. And the fourth point is that you keep looking into the space. You keep looking into the space. That is what gives you, and I can bet you, even if you start doing 3 minutes in the morning, and if you are at home, maybe 3 minutes during the day. So if you are at home, you can do the 3 minutes for a couple of times at home. And if you're going outside or to the school, maybe 2 times every day. 3 minutes only. And what will happen, you can't imagine, within a week. That is the power of meditative asanas. So in the meditative asana, you are not too much concerned about this, too much of stretching or the pain, and try to do some feet through the asanas. No. Very comfortable, carefree. That is the state of effortlessness. Another point, the steadiness in the body, and 2 points at the mental level, the happiness and looking into the space within. Maximum what will happen if you have repeated, you have engaged your mind in the steadiness, effortlessness, happiness and the space inside, and the mind says, okay, what else? You start looking at the breath. You start looking at the breath. Just keep looking at the breath. Now the mind says, no, I have seen the breath. Okay. Mentally start singing Om Shanti into the space. Drop the Om Shanti into the space. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Again some thought comes. The old mind, the habitual mind will return to the body. It will definitely create problem to the body. It will say, no, you cannot sit in this body for so long. You cannot sit in this position for so long. The mind will say. So you are replacing those thoughts. The moment the mind says, Om Shanti. Again, the moment the mind says, Om Shanti. And if that happens, you will succeed. It will give you a tremendous power of the mind, the intellect, the memory and the retention. Not only that will help you in your progress, but also in your school. Choice is yours. Let us chant Om Shanti Shanti 3 times to return from this. You have done for 7 minutes. I appreciate it. Second breath. We are not in a hurry. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti, 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 Shanti. You see, even my mind immediately wanted to say Shanti in one breath. No, 2 breaths. Take 1 breath. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 8.5 minutes, open your eyes. How easy it is. Provided if you want to do it, it is very easy. If you don't want to do it, nothing is easy. So, this is the second lesson.